Hey guys, I'm back from a holiday, but I still need a little bit of a break. One for school, and two because I couldn't really get into the video making groove until like now. Anyway, welcome to the Canada-Alaska holiday special of Tuesdays with Nick. The holiday was amazing. It's really hard to put into words. Definitely, I think, the best holiday I've ever been on. I guess I'll just talk about it in chronological order because that's way easier than doing anything else. Start off, we woke up at like 3 in the morning in the airport. We went on a really early flight to Brisbane, and then on a really long flight from Brisbane to Vancouver, which was like 14 hours, but we flew in first class. And I have to say, like most of the holiday, hard to put into words. Now, here are the movies that I watched on the plane. It was hard for me to get to sleep on the plane because I'm just not very good at sleeping on planes. So I was really jet lagged by the end of the journey, which took I think about 34 hours in total. Yeah. But no, it was really cool. We started our holiday in Victoria, which was a really lovely city. It was very small, or at least the parts that we went around were small, and it was very lovely. It was a really nice place. A lot of the architecture was very classic, so it felt quite old. So like a lot of the city, was old looking. From there we went to this beautiful garden, the Butchart Gardens. Oh, beautiful place, full of just the most gorgeous flowers and stuff. And it's really old as well. It's like over 100 years old, that garden, I think. And I highly recommend that if you ever go to Victoria, you definitely check out the Butchart Gardens. And while we were in Victoria, we went whale watching, which was, wow, that was really cool. We went on this little Zodiac boat, and it was really fast, really cold too. We saw a lot. We saw a few whales, and that was really cool because one whale went like right up to our little boat, really close. I got a video of it too, and yeah. After we spent 2 nights in Victoria, we went down to Whistler. And Whistler's just this nice little ski resort, pretty much. That's the whole thing. We were in summer, so there wasn't really a lot to do there because, you couldn't really go skiing. But we went on this gondola ride up to the top of the mountain, covered in snow. I hit my mum on the head with a snowball. Really funny. You had to be there. And then we took this peak-to-peak gondola ride. So we were really high in the air, and we were above just this gorgeous view of the space in between these 2 mountains. We went bear watching, which was, awesome, because we saw a lot of bears. One came like right up close to our car, the little car thing we were in, and it was really, yeah, that was the only one that went really close. All the other bears were off in the distance somewhere, so I'll just like play some of the bear footage.
What?
Yeah.
We spent a night in Whistler, and after that we went to Sun Peaks, which we also spent 1 night there, and that place was really nice. The hotel there was like really nice. The views were gorgeous, and we went on a little canoe there for like the evening. We went on a little canoe ride on this beautiful little lake, and the sky was just really cool looking, so that really like made the evening canoe ride much more beautiful. And of course the country as a whole is just beautiful because it's covered in just these gorgeous, a whole lot of pine trees, just lots and lots of pine trees, lots of lakes and lots of mountains. After Sun Peaks we went to Jasper, which is where I think that's where we celebrated Canada's 150th anniversary. Jasper was nice. It was a 1 night thing. It wasn't nothing to write home about. But after Jasper, we went to Lake Louise. Beautiful, magnificent hotel. in Lake Louise. It was a Fairmont hotel. It reminded me of the Grand Budapest Hotel, especially when viewed out from a distance. It was incredible. Wow. And the lake itself had this beautiful view of this mountains and a lake. It was gorgeous, and the water was so clear as well. After Lake Louise, went on this really big old glacier. It was really cool, really cold, but there was fresh water there that you could drink. It was really cool, really beautiful glacier. Oh. We went to Banff. We took this gondola ride up to the top of the mountain. It was just a beautiful view of the whole city. Banff itself was just this long one-street city. It was pretty cool. The food there was nice, and it was a really lovely place to walk around because they had this really cool old hotel and this really fast-flowing river. We left Banff on this train called the Rocky Mountaineer, and that was about 9 hours the first day, and then 7 hours the second day, I think. And in between then we stayed in this nice little place in a town I can't remember the name of. Gorgeous train. It was like almost a hotel on wheels, except for the fact that it didn't have any rooms. We had a restaurant underneath the train, and the food there was pretty good too. We had these views constantly on this train, just the best views. Canada's just the best looking country ever, and pretty much every single view we had in this country was just astonishing. Oh yeah, there was this really long train that went past us. Really long train. I got a video of it and it's about 5.5 minutes long. I'll just play the whole thing at like a really fast speed in order to... yeah. So we finished the Rocky Mountaineer journey in Vancouver, and we spent a few days in Vancouver. Vancouver is a really cool city. It's a bit like Melbourne, very similar city to Melbourne. It's one of those big cities with like very. It's got either really modern buildings or really old looking buildings. And there was this place called Gastown that was really old looking, and there was a floor there that I forgot to take a picture of, and it was really messed up. The floor there was just all mixed and mashed of different tiles, and there was a steam-powered clock. That was pretty cool. And but the city itself is really cool. We went on this big suspension bridge there. After we spent, I think, 2 nights in Vancouver, that was the end of our time in Canada, unfortunately. After that, we got on a cruise ship called the Coral Princess. The cruise ship was superb. It was like a 5-star hotel, but on the water. There was so much there. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot I could do because I'm 19, so I was too young for the stuff to do as an adult, because it was American, so everything was 21. Drinking and going to the bar and stuff like that. It was all 21. I was too old to do the stuff for like the teenagers and stuff. So there wasn't really a lot for me to do. So a lot of the time I spent on the cruise, I was actually just either walking around aimlessly or just relaxing in my room. Or going to the pizzeria, watching a movie, or on the deck just looking at the view. Or at the art gallery. There's a little art gallery there. There was so much there. A whole lot of restaurants. They even had a cinema. Well, not a cinema. They had a theater, but it was also used as a cinema at one point. They had a library. They had a game room. They had a lot on that cruise ship. That's the cruise for you. I'll just show you a whole bunch of videos now. Look, we can bring to the bed. I'm sure you rockin' the girl say from the view of the cruise. This is a glacier, this is a forest. I now have a few photos as well. This was the glacier again. Really cool glacier. a whole bunch of really cool glaciers, really, we went past. And here's a beautiful sunset with mountains and stuff. We went off the cruise 3 times. We stopped in Ketchikan. We went on a deadliest catch fishing tour kind of thing where they pretty much just talk about fishing and crab fishing. We held like a few crabs, and that was cool. Then in Juneau, which is the capital of Alaska for some reason, we went whale watching again. Well, it was kind of a wilderness nature thing, but we saw this pod of orcas, and it was so beautiful. It was stunning. Just this pod of orcas just kind of dipping out of the waves, and no one had ever seen something like that before. Not even the people who ran the tour said that it was really rare that something like that was happening. I hope they weren't lying, because that was incredible. Then the third place was Skagway, which we went up to the top of a mountain by helicopter. We're going on a helicopter, I don't know where it's going. We went up to this dog sledding place, and we went on a little dog sledding, just around a circuit that they made in the snow. And it was really cool. I got some first-person shots from my GoPro. Unfortunately the GoPro ran out, so I unfortunately didn't get the shots of me at the back actually mushing the dogs. I got me, sitting up on the front though, sitting down on the little sled thing, and the experience of actually going dog sledding on the snow was just it's an experience you gotta do, and the dogs themselves were really friendly too. Yeah, so that was the cruise ship. I can't stress how amazing the actual cruise ship was. So after the cruise ship, we landed in Whittier. We stayed in Anchorage for one night. Anchorage was alright, it was just another city, but it was still nice. The hotel there was actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's that. So after that, we stopped in Princess Lodge with a great view of just these mountains, and one of them is called Mount McKinley. Unfortunately, we didn't get a very good view of Mount McKinley because of the fact that it was very cloudy. But the actual lodge itself was really nice, cool, We went to this wilderness preserve place that had a lot of traditional Alaskan animals, and here's some footage of that. And then we went to a place called Talkeetna, which is just a small little town with a cat as its mayor. Yeah, this cat called Stubbs, who's the mayor of Talkeetna, and unfortunately we didn't get to meet Stubbs because we didn't know that that's the town that Stubbs was the mayor of until we got home. And when we got home, we also found out that he had died, unfortunately, just the day that we left Alaska. Talkeetna was nice. There was a really fast-flowing river they had there. So from Talkeetna, we went on another train ride, and that was pretty cool. Great views. What would you expect? You're in Alaska. Great views. From there, we actually went up. We went to Denali Mountain Lodge. We saw this little. We had this dinner theater, which was nice. The dinner theater, music of Denali. And from there, in Denali, we went on this really long bus tour. I fell asleep a few times. It was mainly a wilderness tour, but by the end of the tour we saw the actual mountain Denali, and it was a sight to behold, because it was just this big snowy mountain in the middle of all these rocky mountains, and it was just a really cool view. And on the way back we actually saw wolves circling a bear, and also a caribou off in the distance. Sorry if my footage is crap because of the fact that they were really far away. I'm amazed that I got it to zoom in that far, and that was cool. Stayed in Denali for 2 nights, but we got up to our final stop, which was Fairbanks. And Fairbanks was a nice little city. We didn't really do much in Fairbanks. That was kind of just, that's where we pretty much had time to just relax. We went on this flight. over the Arctic Circle, and it was nowhere near as cold as one would expect over there in Alaska and Canada. It was summer, so the actual little we didn't really go that far over the Arctic Circle. We only went to this little town called Coldfoot, I believe it's called, and then we, after Coldfoot, went up to this little town called Wiseman with a population of I think 15 people, and we had a little history lesson. And the actual, you know, the views up in the Arctic Circle were nice and all, but the views on the flight there and back, the views were just stunning. After Fairbanks, we said goodbye to Alaska. Well, not really, because we left Fairbanks and then landed in Anchorage again, and we were in Anchorage for a few hours, and then went to Vancouver back to Brisbane, which was a really long plane ride. Here are the movies I watched while I was on the plane. And then Brisbane to Melbourne, and that was the end of my holiday. That was the whole holiday. Got this shirt while I was in Banff, and I got this little thing in the Vancouver airport. I'll get it out for you. This is like a little traditional, like a rock sculpture made by the First Nations, and there were actually a few of these around Canada that we saw, and they were really cool looking. I really liked the look of them, and so that's why I got this. But yeah, that's the overly long summary of the holiday that I went on. Tell me if you've ever been to Canada, and maybe tell me your experience, or if you'd love to go to Canada. I highly recommend it if you've never been to Canada before. I highly recommend going. So yeah, that was my holiday. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!